Good day. Out on my morning meditation walk, and I am reflecting on what's been happening in my home, just some control dramas that I see, and how I've been playing into them, where I had developed a practice not to. I had developed a practice on how to respond. But when you go into a different atmosphere, like for example, I'm walking right now. I'm walking and my body is moving in a certain way. And the way that my body is moving helps me move through this atmosphere, helps me move through this environment. But if you picked me up and then dropped me into the ocean right now, my movements would have to be a lot different. Not that I would have to completely change how I move, but there would be variations on how that movement would need to change as a result of the environment. And the way that we used to respond, the way that we used to... Good morning. The way we used to respond, the way we behaved in our previous environment, which has changed, will not serve us in this new environment, because this is much denser. This is much more resistance in our movement. Just like when you go from walking regularly to walking in water. Have you ever tried to run in water? It is so difficult. I've had dreams of like trying to run away and it felt like I was stuck in water, but I was on land. And that's kind of what this feels like. You know how you behaved before, and those things need to be ramped up because the resistance is around you. The resistance isn't you. So that's the first thing you have to recognize is the resistance is around us. And it's requiring us to recalibrate how we move. So specifically, just dealing with people in my home whom I love and I care for deeply, I have to realize that their vibrational awareness has changed, not in a positive way, so to speak. So they are still operating in the same mindset, and they're also feeling the resistance, this new change in environment, but they don't know what that means. And so there's a lot of frustration, like I said, in that dreams that I've had before, where I was walking on land and then something was chasing me. And so I went to take off to run, and it was like running in water. This is essentially how they feel, how a lot of people are feeling, how you may be feeling, how I'm feeling in this. And they don't know how to recalibrate their thinking or their behavior because they are unconscious of how they respond. So, for example, I know I said it for example before, but frustrations are very high. Short tempers that were short before are even shorter. Impatience is even more impatient. If we have upped our resistance by 100, then frustration that was 0 before is now at 100. And so learning to deal with that resistance around you that's at 100 you have to develop a practice. You have to develop a practice in order to have perseverance through it. And so I'm becoming aware that I need to be more conscious, need to be more aware of the surroundings and ramp up my practice. And that's what I've been doing the last 3 days. It's getting out in the morning and walking and taking a 42-minute meditation walk. Usually I'm driving into work, or I'm getting ready and I have a lot of stuff to do. I don't have to do that now. And so I'm giving myself time, and actually getting out of the house is helpful, because here's the thing. When you're in a low vibrational place, atmosphere, and everybody is struggling with resistance, you feel that energy, and that energy can keep you stagnant. And so in order to lift from an area that is oppressive, you have to get out in a place that is free. And what is more free than the outdoors? What is more free than nature? What is more free than birds flying above your head and soaring up with the clouds? What is more free than a tree that just stands and does what it was created to do, cast shade, not the bad shade, good shade? What is more free than air that flows freely? What is more free than just the grass that is anchored, but yet has no limit of how high it can grow? So getting out in nature is going to be really important during these months, especially with us being confined to our homes, because we can be confined to that energy that's just swirling around in there, that feels stuck, just as you feel stuck, just as everybody else in your house feels stuck. I'm thinking about something, and I'm debating whether I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. So I used to have this vision, what if people's farts were green, you could see people's farts? I'm pretty sure, being in a store or being someplace, that those farts, you would be walking through mist all the time, because people fart all the time. And think of that fart that they let go, consciously or unconsciously, as their negative emotion, negative vibration. Think of it like that. Think of it like a mist that people let go, and that has color, and that if you could see it, you would realize that you were covered in their negative emotion, their negative reaction, their vibration. Now, imagine being outside and farting, right? It's not a confined space. The wind blows, and as it blows, it will drift away. And so it's much thinner. It's much less dense than it would be if you were in an enclosed room or a store or building. And we also have to think about people's emotions like that as well, that they have no idea that they're releasing them into the vibrational atmosphere. And so, what can you do? You can be Febreeze. That's supposedly traps and eliminates funky smells, you know? You can be the mist of beautiful lavender that envelops and transmutes that negative energy. Oh my gosh, Febreeze commercial here. Traps and eliminates that negative vibration. But you can't be that if you're swimming in that, right? So you have to get out and fill yourself with all that is good. Meditate, pray, connect with the divine creator, and fill yourself with love and joy and peace. So those are the things that you're releasing, not the negative emotion of others or yourself, that you're being a beneficial fragrance to all those around you. All right, enough with the Febreze, but it's a great analogy. I might blog about it. Anyway, have a wonderful day. Know that all is working for us, that we are divinely guided, protected, and provided for, that all things are working together for our good. Good morning. All things are working together for our good and our benefit, and that we are the Febreze of the world. Have a good one.